Oh my. Okay, here we go. Let's put the mirror on. Hopefully it won't turn it off. So I'm looking into 12 volts. I don't get it. I'm just testing things out, and I have some this guy. It's like a Hot Logic mini thing, testing it out. Apparently a lot of people are happy about the Hot Logic mini, which is like a cooking device or a slow cook, small slow cooker in some sense. And I remember like trying it out, and I was disappointed, but maybe I did something wrong and all that. Anyway, so I've sorted a lot of things out in regards of you. And by the way, Anderson are the best plugs that I've been able to. I love Anderson. It's like, just click, and click and click and click. That's the clicking sound. They're wonderful. I bought a small package and I used it all. I bought a bigger package, some time ago and all that, right? Past and all that. And I've used the last Anderson plugs and all that, so I don't have any more Anderson available. It's very annoying. But that's, I guess, how it is. But these plugs are the best for low voltage. And apparently they go up to 400 voltage, but you have to be careful because when they go over around 50 voltage, I haven't tested it, but like at some point the voltage will become so high so you can actually get electrocuted, right? So or electric shock, I guess it's called in English. Not electric, well, anyway, so you can get an electric shock if it, but although it's very hard to get your fingers in there, but it doesn't, it's, I don't know if I can. Maybe I can. I'm not sure. Maybe it would be the bigger size of these. You absolutely can get your finger in it. I'm not so sure in regards of these. Even if it was like 230 volts, if I could actually get my fingers in there, I won't try it, because I don't want, But I have thought about using them for something in regards to 230 volts, or and you can actually use it like to 230 volts, or I was thinking like, you can actually hang, I have like a seating thing, right? And I was thinking like, you can actually fix this and just use it for changing of the thing, if you want to change it quickly, bang, you can just change it. And of course, you would need to use one of these guys. Because you think maybe maybe it could be pulled out and all that. Well, that's what these are for, right? So you just put it in you fix it and you put this in the hole, and then it's like, you have the other one and it just fits in the holes. I guess you can. Anyway, I guess this is not the topic, but anyway, you see here, right? You can pull them apart now, but if I put these like in here, it's also made a click noise, you can't pull them apart. They're stuck. So I was thinking like maybe I should, but the thing is I don't have any more Anderson plugs. Of course, a kind of a white color might also be better than to use, like if you're going to use it for a ceiling to hide it a little. And I know they have different colors that you can also get and all that. So that's something I need to look into. But just, yeah, lots of things to do. Anyway, so I'm sitting with the Hot Logic. I came to realize, wait a minute, the Hot Logic. Can I actually use it, like if I like have these batteries? How much can I actually cook in regards of a battery, right? How much energy does it actually use? And I really should have cooked a lot with it, but I haven't really done much with it since I got it long ago. It does look like it's old, but I haven't really used it much, and I should really have tried it out on a lot of things. I have a big slow cooker that I used, and I love that slow cooker because you just put it in there, and then you could just eat when you wanted to eat. It would just stand there and do its thing. And I guess the same principle is pretty much in regards to the hot logic. Pretty much, you can put it in there and just go away, and then it just stands there and keep it warm and all that. Yeah. So, but the problem is, like, I looked into multiple. Oh, there's. Looked into multiple, like, Ukraine can do 12 volts. Not everything can do 12 volts. I looked into some of the others I have, adopt those, and the problem is, well, they do, some of them do 12 volts, this one doesn't. But the problem is that even if they do 12 volts, it only do 3 amps. And it's a kind of a problem because the hot logic needs, well, its maximum as 45 watts. Now, I did find out, I've tested it, but I don't know if it, how it will actually, but you could actually, have like 12, 12 volts here, let's see here. Like, see here. So you have like 5 voltage, right? You have 9 voltage. Let's see here. 9 voltage, and it goes up to 9 volt. And you have 12 voltage. The thing is, now it's connected now to this guy, and I have some water in it. I think they say that you shouldn't do it with water, but whatever. That's what I'm, that's what I have, and that's what I'm, I just filled it with water and all that, and the water is pretty hot now, so it actually, yeah, it's hot. But the problem is, like, 12 volts, 3 amps. As far as I know, as I was researching around, and apparently some say that the standard should actually go up to 5 amps. Now, overall, you have 20 volts. Usually it's like 5 amps will be 100 watts. And you should be able to do the same thing with a 12 volts. But apparently they stopped with 3 amps. I don't know why they would stop at 3 amps. Because it clearly can do 5 amps, like it's kind of, USB is like made to do up to 5 amps. So why would the 12 volts only be able to do 3 amps in regards to that? That seems to be the default thing. So I'm looking for something that actually does 5 amps. To get some more juice out of it. But there's another way to do it in regards to this. But I haven't tested if it actually will burn it off. It could be a little dangerous. Although it's not that much voltage more, but sometimes, it's not. I guess it might heat it up a little. But as you can see, it's like, and there we go with the bullshit of Android, so-called smart features, bullshit features. Anyway, you could actually do it like this. And what we have here is now running 15 volts, but it does go a little down in regards to 13.7 volts and 3 amps, because that's like 15 times 3, that's 15, 13, that's 45. And it does actually draw 45.94 watts. So it seems to actually be using the maximum. But, there's always a danger of burning off the stuff. Or maybe it might become a little hotter in it. Although I guess that wouldn't be it shouldn't be that much of a difference in regards of the heat. If it's slightly bump it a little up, it shouldn't be 46 watts at the moment. But of course, again, there is the thing that it might burn off. But it does go down to 13.9 volts when you put it in, so that makes it a little closer to the 12 volts. So maybe it's a possibility. At least it gets it up to the specific wattage. So maybe that's a way to do it. I don't know. Um, Although I do wonder in regards of, because if you put the volt or the voltage up, it might actually lessen the heat. Actually, thinking about it, I do want, because I guess it might not be so, it might sound counterintuitive that if you actually put more energy in it, it might actually cool it down. But I'm thinking, the thing is, if you kind of like, if you want energy through a wire, right? The higher voltage you do, the less cable you need for it. But if you have lower voltage, it's the amps. It's you need a bigger cable. So again, if this warming thing maybe have, I don't know how it works out, but if it actually has like, smaller things to make it heat up, the higher voltage might actually make it easier for it to pass through, and not make the same heat as it actually did. That might actually be, so it might actually, yeah. Now there's another way to do it, which I have here, like a little adapter thing here. I burned one off in regards of a little. I have some smaller ones, and this is a little bigger. Really, it would be nice if I could just find something that just works with everything, so you don't need to, and you don't burn them off and all that. Anyway, they don't write anything on them in regards of, so you have to, I guess, or you have to look on the internet. That's another way. But anyway, this one actually seems to work. There has been some hiccups, but overall it does seem to work. It hasn't burned off or anything like that. It does get a little heated. Um, in regards of 45 watts, I'm not sure what it's actually made for and all that. But the other one I had, which a little smaller version of a step down, it burned. Was step down? She thinking. Yeah, I stepped down from 20 volts because I didn't got it from the USB C, and I just got 20 watts. Sorry, 20 volts, and then fixing the 20 volts into 12 volts. That's a way to do it. So I'm just trying to test things in regards to making it a little more, if you're on the road or anything like that, in regards to the battery, your USB battery, USB C, if you kind of, you could put I guess you could make a meal at home, and then you could put the battery in or something like that, and put the, food in the bag and go someplace and all that, and it will still be hot when you get there. But it does seem to suck pretty good amount of energy. But I'm not sure if it's correct, but I got 1.5 hour of one of the batteries, but I'm not sure if it was totally full, because it doesn't really seem to add up in my brain if it, only 1.5 hour. Yeah, well, anyway, I will need to further test that out. In regards of it. But it could be nice if you could actually just do, if you could actually have something that actually do 12 volts and up to 5 amps. Like, okay, apparently the standard should be available as far as I understand it. So there must be some kind of adapter out there or something like that should support it. But I guess in regards of adapter, that's kind of, well, that's just for the energy usage in regards if you do it like. But in regards of 12, a battery that does 5 amps in regards of 12 volts, 5 amps. Like 12 volts is like one of the most important voltages, and some of them skips it, and if they don't skip it, it's so apparently only 3 amps. And it's just weird because again, it should be able to go up to 5 amps as a total, because that's the idea. In regards to 100 watts, it's with 5 amps. 240 watts, which is the new standard that is coming around, is also in regards of 5 amps. But the thing is, they fix the voltage up, so to what? That's a good question. Let's see here. We have 20 volts at 48 volt. Let's see here. What's like 240? I can't remember. 48 volts times 5 amps. I can't remember. But anyway, but it's apparently they're still working on that. Now there's not that many things as far as I know that actually has that. It is interesting because it gives the possibility of 240 watts. It will be interesting to see if you could actually be, get an electric shock. It's getting very close to the 50 volts. So I guess, if I toy around with that in the future, I will try out if I get electrocuted, because I probably will just handle it like I handle the rest. Like, touching and this and that in regards of. And it's also nice that you don't get electrocuted when you're doing all these things, because it's low voltage, I hate electricity. I just hate it. So it's nice to actually, do it in a level where it can't electrocute you. It's kind of, I just, it's not fun to get electrocuted. Anyway, so just charge up the batteries and those batteries and testing this thing out. But yeah, I do wonder, going up to 15 volts, even if it actually uses more, at the moment, if you do 12 volts, it does around for 34.8 watts. If you make it up to 15 volts, it will go down to 13.7 volts and then go up to 45 point, nearly 64 watts. But I'm not sure if it actually gets hotter or cooler. I guess I guess you could actually take a temperature thing, put it at the thing where it's heating, and then just first see how hot it gets in regards of one way, and then see if it actually, turn it up and see if it actually gets hotter. So that's a possibility to do it like that and check it out if you actually get anything out of doing this. Oh, no, it stopped. Oh, no, it has some problems apparently. Let's turn it down to 12 volts again. Now it seems to be turning up and hopefully it didn't destroy anything. Maybe it could also be that it's hot enough, but at the moment it's just turning on, turning off. Hopefully it didn't destroy it. And it could be that I might actually have destroyed it. We'll see. Or maybe it's the adapter thing that makes issues. It could be multiple things anyway. Let's try to just fix it directly into the 12 volts. But yeah, kind of disappointing in regards of that. I guess the batteries are the real concern. So let's see here. Like we have this one. I'll just fix this one on. Like, yeah, there we go, right? So we have like a tester in regards to Anderson, and you can, these testers are wonderful. These testers, these Vitron C4 testers, I've really, I've done a lot of things to these guys, and they are still living. It's kind of, that's impressive, because I've done a lot of torture or whatever you want to call them to these, it's incredible. They're still surviving. I have two of them. I have an older version and a newer version and all that. Anyway, and there's apparently a new version C5. Would be kind of, but anyway. So you just, we have the thing for the thing here, hot logic mini. Put that in here, right? So, we could actually just connect it. Well, it doesn't, anyway. So we'll have the 12 volts. We have the 12 volts over here. You just put that in. Boom. And let's see if it's still, there we go. So, I guess it might have been the charging device that had issues, or maybe this, but it doesn't seem to break when you connect it directly. I haven't followed totally along in regards of how this device usually works. Probably should do that. But yeah, I think it's probably the charger that had some issues in regards of it. Let's see here. Changing of the screen here. Yeah. Okay, let's just period, 1 hour, clear. There we go. So it's at the moment it's running 38 watts and 12 volts. So again, it's not even if you run only 3 amps in regards of it's still, it's still close, but it's not totally, I guess, even if it's not totally up, I guess it might be okay, It's I rather would not to be needing to kind of, you do lose some energy when you use these adapters from 1 volt to another volt. So, and then you have a 20, this is a switch to 20 volts. So you put that into the USB and it will turn 20 volts on. Then it goes through I have it, just to check in regards of it. And then it goes into this, and then it turns it down to 12 volts. So, and of course, during the 20 volts, it can do up to usually 100 watts, so that's more than enough and all that. But yeah, if you could get around the converter, because there is a loss, when you do the thing. So, and I'd rather not actually need to have this with me either. If you could just plug the USB into the cable into the USB and into the hot logic and all that, that of course would be the best thing. So at the moment, 12.4 volts, 38.6 watts. So it's not, and maybe it doesn't need to actually do the full, it's just fixed to 45 watts, So maybe that's okay, maybe it's still, but it is hot, you can feel the package on the top, and it is warm, and if you actually fix into the water, it's so hot, so it's, it's not cooking, or it's not, I guess, 100 Celsius, but it is hot. It was interesting, some guy talked about that actually when they use electricity or battery to heat up water, it's the last couple of degrees that actually uses most power, a lot of power actually. He was talking about, that's amazing, that the last couple of degrees to 100 Celsius apparently takes a lot of energy compared to just get it up there to a little under 100 Celsius. My brain is not totally with me. So I thought that this guy might actually be able to do maybe I was pretty impressed by this charger, although I did burn the USB-A's and all that. But yeah, it's pretty much the best I've tried of charging, because they usually have some kind of issue. I can't remember who. Oh well, Andoc and Archdoc or something like that. Yeah, it's a kind of it's really hard to read the back behind here. It's the Anchor does the same thing. It's just bullshit. Why would you make it hard to read? Anyway, Archdoc Jan 1204. They have a smaller version as well. I would like to try the smaller version. It's also said to be a lot lighter. This is like 120 watts and all that, but it's really good. It's although I did burn it off, I guess I did something I shouldn't do, and there was apparently no safety for that. So yeah, but yeah, it's still the best that I've tried of all the USB 230 volts things and all that. And you do USB-C still does work and all that. But yeah, the USB-A they're like dead. So I'm so tired. I shouldn't be so tired. Oh, it's going down again. It's going down and up, Maybe it's because the food is already heated up or something like that. Maybe that's the thing. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe I broke it with 12 volts, It depends in regards to sometimes just I had these guys that I made or sit around and toyed with pretty much today and last day. And these are like lights you can turn on. And I burned one of them off while testing in regards to the voltage and all that, and I found out very, very sensitive, You can't really go much above 9 volts, And it's it's just because I thought, maybe I can just put 12 volts into it, right? Nope, no. It begins to bang the LEDs, So 9 volts, apparently, So you have to have one of these things that lowers the power. Like, give me a break, But apparently that's how it is, It would be nice just to be able to plug it into the 12 volts and then yeah. But no, apparently not. I do have one that I can't remember in regards of when it begins to actually, but it's apparently I tested it yesterday. It's hard to remember all the things, and I sadly I had to fix these guys. Although I did have a good amount of them anyway, so that's okay. I didn't have anything for use. But sadly, these are like step downs. I would like a step up, step down. So I wouldn't need to, so you could also just plug it into a USB 5 volts and there's just, 5 volts, 20 volts, 12 volts, whatever, and then just have it working, right? Well, you can do it with 12 volts as far as I know, 20 volts. So, I can't remember how high they actually go up these step downs and all that, but it's just a test, right? And testing it, and if they break and all that, okay, throw it out. I got like 10 of them when I ordered them, so it's not like I do have a good amount of them, so it's not like but anyway, you burn things off. That's just how it is. But yeah, I should really have the information on these, but it doesn't, it's kind of, I should go into the internet and fix, find out what they actually are made for and all that, but whatever. It's a thing, right? Test it out, see if it breaks, if it breaks, throw it out, get a new one, That's pretty much, whatever. But I really didn't know what to really use them for, so, I was like, I got like 10 of them. What am I going to use them for? Well, apparently I can use it for these. But yeah, I don't get it. You know why? Why is there not a single adapter of these? Like, is there not a single adapter that actually can do 5 amps in regards of this? You know, and this doesn't even do 12 volts. You know, because apparently they threw that specification out, so it's not something that they need to do, because apparently 12 volts is just not important at all. Like 12 volts, like so many things run on 12 volts, you know. So yeah, but yeah, I don't get it, you know. So either I have to look around and see if I can find, yeah, I don't know. I guess also the batteries, and of course it would be like a battery thing in regards of. Anyway, I'm charging one of the batteries at the moment. Although not with 100 watt cable, so it's going to take some time. But it's going to take what it is. I don't know why they don't make these cables in 100 watts. These are my favorite cables. Yet like these second favorite cables, I guess. Like, because they have all the things, right? They like you put. Well, this one is broke, but apparently, but like if you want, or maybe I just broke it apparently. Anyway, it might have just broken it off the plastic thing, but anyways, like have like USB A, USB C, and the other end you have micro USB, right? So you have it all at the. Why didn't they actually just do it like this one? Because now it's broke, Like this is this. I guess this is the second one I break in regards of the USB A thing, adapter thing here. Give me a break. Or maybe it was the one that was already broke. I'm not entirely sure. I know there's one of them that I broke before, so hopefully this is the one, or maybe I just broke one more. But yeah, these are from USAMs, USAMs. Of course, my most favorite pretty much is the Catholic with like this one. Yeah, I know it's pink, but they only had two colors, and kind of nice to actually have some color variations when you have a lot of cables around and all that. And I have the old version as well, or at least anyway, they work the same pretty much. The older version, which can be gotten in two other colors. One of them is green, is in regards to what I have, but that's heavier. So and this one is actually transparent compared to the other ones. You can actually see what it does when you and it just fix it up. That's also a nice feature. And it also have different cables on the other end. I have some water. Oh my. Yeah. Oh, I'm tired. I shouldn't be tired. Okay. Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. I guess I will pack these back. Not really worth much. I really should get some more of these other cables from Catholic. It's nice that they just fix up to nothing, and they do 100 watts. The other ones do only 60 watts, So, and of course they don't fix together. You have to fix them like and you like usually thing, right? So it's nice where you could boop boo, and then it just fixes down. Takes doesn't take long. Yeah, it seems to be turning off and on at the moment. Now it's like 0.61 watts, so maybe it does have some kind of feature that stops the heating if it feels like it's already hot enough, or maybe I broke it. That's two possibilities. Either I broke it with the interesting. It gets up to 13.2 volts. So when I put it to 15 volts, it actually went to 13 point something, right? So now it's doing 39 watts again. Yeah, again, I would need to further test it out. But the water should be pretty hot. It was last time I checked it. It was very hot, and so I guess it would make sense if it actually dropped down in regards to things. Yeah. So far, so good. It's bad weather outside, as usual. Just depressing gray. Like lots of things. Like, oh, yeah, just like this is, you have papers over there. You have papers on the floor. We have my bed right there. Like, there's so much. It's like it's a mess. There's so many things to do. There's lots of things to do. Yeah. Not that much space in this area or apartment that I got. Yep, and I'm still fat. Lots too much fatness. Trying to see if I can do some weight. I need to lose some weight. I'm way too fat. Anyway, I need to lose at the moment. Let's see here. 50 kilos would be nice. If I can lose 50 kilos, that would be pretty nice. A long way for losing 50 kilos. Like, it's amazing. 15 kilos. I've never been so fat. Yeah, that's a project in itself. Like, I'm just fat. I'm just fat. Like boobs and all that. Like, it's just terrible. Anyway, I'll see how it goes. We'll take a couple of months, I guess. But yeah, I do wonder if there's actually an adapter you could get that actually do more than 3 amps. In regards to 12 volts, why not? Like, are you gonna be kidding me? Like taking screenshots and all that, you gotta be kidding me. But I guess maybe it won't close the program down now that there's taking a screenshot. Maybe it's like going to take a little longer before it actually closes down, right? Because of this auto bullshit feature. Yeah. And all this auto thing and this and that, and oh, you can see my square boxes and all that. Yeah. Anyway, lots of more things to do. Yeah, it does seem to be a pattern in regards of the turning up, turning down, turning up, turning down. It does seem to have some kind of a pattern. Now it's turned off again. So, although I'm not entirely sure, maybe I damaged it with I don't think, I hopefully not, but sometimes small voltages, small differences of voltages can apparently ruin things, like this thing. I just hoped, oh well, we just put the thing on 12 volts and then we there to go, right? Nope, apparently not. So I had to make these things. It would have been so much easier just to be able to just put it to the 12 volts. This is actually from a 230 volts thing and all that, and it had these small things turning things. Oh, let's try this. Well, it has these small things that actually turn the 230 volts into 9 voltage, 9 voltage pretty much. It does, just 9 point something, and then it goes downward to 8.8 or something like that. That was the lowest. So I put it just to 9 voltage. That's kind of in the middle of it, in regards to that spectrum. So it doesn't seem to fluctuate when I put it directly to it. So, but it did with the other thing. I would sleep. Incredible. 38.7 watts. Yeah, but there seems to be some kind of a pattern. Turning up, boom, and then turning on again. It's not like it's not like a big break that it actually makes. It's kind of weird that it wouldn't make a longer break maybe, if it feels like, hey, it's already heated and all that. Yeah. So I need to test how fast it actually empties the batteries. So now I have 3 batteries that are empty besides the one that I'm charging. Well, the one that I'm charging, the 2 other batteries are empty. I just need to charge those batteries and I guess test that out. See how long it actually can stay on, and of course the issue in regards to 12 volts and all that. I did find like a trigger thing, and it actually says 5 amps, 12 volts, 5 amps. But if you don't have an adapter that actually does 5 amps, then it's kind of, then but apparently I guess it sends the signal to it that, hey, I can do 5 amps. But again, if the thing that sends it can't send 5 amps, then I guess it will only be 3 amps and 36 watts. Yeah. And it's still jumping up and down. 13.2 volts are the maximum, and then it goes down when it's used, then it goes up again and all that. I feel like sleeping, I have so much to do. I really should get that other thing fixed. The weather is terrible. I also need to get that windmill out of the way. It's not like, it's not like that the people here, well, no, the rent thing, whatever, they have issues with the windmill and also the solar panels that I have. Oh, you're not allowed to do that and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so they want but anyway, I need, the windmill is not producing anything. That windmill, at least, it's just junk. It's China junk, and there's no point in having it up. It's pretty much just a toy, really. It does, move around, here and there, but it doesn't produce much. I have a little LED thing that it actually can light up, but that's all. And the LED is hanging out there. It's like a little like this one, pretty much. I have a thing like this, and I guess it only uses like 0.4 watts or something like that, and that's the only thing that this biggie biggie windmill actually produces. It doesn't produce much. And that's when it's like that's seldom when it's very very windy and it really really gives a, then of course it produces more, but it's just it's yeah, it's it's China junk, China junk. It wasn't that expensive either, um and it did get, I did get a lot of more information in regards to windmills and all that. I found out that, if you don't have that much wind, you should actually have either 24 or 36 voltage, and then it will automatically drop down. But the thing is, if you don't have so much wind, it doesn't, it's easier to reach if you put it on, and it's kind of easier to reach the voltage that you want, and then it can begin to produce, energy. But if you have like a 12 volts, then it's much harder to get to that thing. There's like I saw this very clever guy on things, and I'm not sure, where it's like where you see it needs to, spin more when you have like 12 voltage compared to 24 voltage compared to a 36 voltage. So the spins, was lessened and lessened for it to reach the voltage. So you're just buying a 24 voltage, thing, and then you're downgrading it to a 12 volts, for example. And then it's much easier for it to actually get up to 12 volts and then begin to produce energy in regards. So anyway, and I guess it's a little same, I guess I did with the 12 volts, where in regards of its light source that it pretty much, but yeah, it's bad. It's very bad. It's not producing energy, and of course they don't want it out there either. But whatever. It's not I'm not that concerned in regards to that. I'm all but yeah, it just doesn't produce enough energy. That is like the solar panels at the moment, for example. I have the solar panels in very very bad weather, and they're producing 3 watts at the moment, and the weather is very very bad. But this 3 watts is more than the windmill ever produces, and when it's windy, pretty much. I can see. Oh, it's actually draw. Now of course it usually goes a little faster, but you can see it moves a little here. And sometimes there's enough, there has been some days where it has been very, very, very. But you have to remember, I'm at an apartment. It's not a good place for a windmill overall. But, I had to try it out, right? Um, had to try it out. And, and there might be some better choices out there that actually will produce more than this one. So it is what it is. But yeah, the solar panels just seems to do much much better. Even with this bad weather, I'm still producing 3 watts. 3 watts is still better than the windmill when it actually turns around. I can't really use the power that the windmill produces to anything, and that's a sad thing, right? Because you thought, oh, maybe it would give you something. Of course, in the winter, when you have bad weather and you don't have that much sun and all that, it would be kind of nice to have some windmill where, and the wind might be a little more windy and all that, but but not with that, it sucks. It's absolutely sucks. But that was also the point in the beginning. It was just to try out and get an idea of it, and I guess I got a lot more knowledge as well. Although I still don't exactly know what to get in regards to a windmill, if anything. But it needs to at least be much more expensive to buy some quality thing. And the thing is, it might look the same, the windmills, but the thing is that the inside might be different. So even if it looks the same on the outside, might not be might not produce the same results. Now, I actually also looked into these other kind of windmills that actually like do like this. And I was thinking actually of getting one of those in a like cheap thing, although they were said to be pretty good as well from that specific company that, of course, now I can't pay on the internet anymore either. So, but yeah, it could be interesting to put a windmill up, I guess, in regards. But they were like a little bigger in regards to things. A lot bigger actually. People would probably look a little, if I put those things up and all that. But yeah, it's again, I'm in a place where the wind is kind of not totally that, it's not totally, it's like inside where you have buildings around and all that. So, and I'm not like, I could be a little longer further up and all that. It would have been helpful. Um, yeah. So yeah, but the solar panels are doing pretty good when we have the north in that direction, or that pretty much that direction. So the solar panels are doing, pretty, besides all the cloudy thing and all that. I guess we're getting taking a lot of pictures apparently. Um, but anyway, so I'm in the right direction in regards to the solar panels at least, and it seems to be doing pretty good. There's the house that is, it takes a little time before it actually gets, in regards to that house over there or that apartment. So you don't have that many hours overall, and at least not in the winter. Um, I think the spring and the fall is pretty much the best time of it. We have entered the good zone again. It seems, although we need the clouds to go away, but it seems like we have kind of entered the point where it can pretty much produce, I guess, actually around 700 kilowatts a day for two solar panels. That's not too bad because I think this one is like 700 kilowatts. And I guess is it called kilowatts hours? I can't remember. Anyway, it actually can fill the thing up in a day pretty much, if if there's no clouds and all that. Um, of course, there's another problem in regards to storage and all that, and there's some things that I haven't sorted out either that needs to, but I have it up. I have a lot of the things up in the head and in regards to workaround and this and that and all that. But yeah, it's hard to buy anything on the internet now. Now that I don't have the new modern, the criminal tyrannic digital ID and all that, and how they just try to control us and lock us down and take away the physical cash and whatnot. So yeah. Yeah, I kind of see a pattern here. You can like see you can kind of see a pattern, right? Um, so it goes. It's not that easy to actually see right on this thing, right? But apparently it has a problem with focusing when it's close. Can you focus? No focus. Can't apparently go so close to it. But it goes up and down and up and down apparently. Now it goes down and then it will go up again. So yeah. So just cooking water. And it's again, I do wonder if it's not cooking, does it kill the things that are in the water? Uh-oh, I think this one is nearly falling apart. Give me a break. Uh, oh yeah, I have some stuff to also check in the bathroom. Oh. I have found out that in regards to the bathroom thing, in regards to the cables, or I guess they're not called cables, but the tubes or whatever they're called, in regards of the for the apparently they like different size of a hole in them, and of course these sizes of holes make the water more water or less water and all that. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Like, that's annoying. I try to like, oh, we need to save the water and all that, so you just have to wait a little longer for the water to get out, right? You know, and all that. Well, I just want full speed ahead. Now they do say that some items will die if the pressure is too big and all that. Yeah, so. Oh, by the way, if any one of you have like this, like a cigarette thing and all that, and you have problem with them actually ending up jumping out and all that, you can do this. You take a very small, slim, what do you call it, string thing, you know? You just put it on, and when you put it in, and you might actually just fix this a little backward because it will slip, you know, in regards to the, but you just fix this kind of like this, and then you begin to fix it in, and then it will lock it with these things, you know. So if you have a small, some of these small things, they don't, you know, you don't want them too big because that's, you know, but just a small, you know, string thing, whatever, and then you can fix the into car thing, and it just sticks there. It might take a little, you know, some tries to do it correctly. You can still take it out and all that, so no problems and all that. But yeah, it makes it stick, you know, pretty good. And yeah, that's the best solution I know in regards to that. Because there's so many different variations of these, and some of them are actually better than others. I actually found one that was very good, but I tested different of these plugs that I had, and I found out I had one for the Hot Logic Mini, and they actually had a pretty good one that seems to oh yeah, that's over here. Oh yeah, this is actually pretty good from oh, um so yeah, this is from Hot Logic Mini. That was actually pretty good. You know, it seems to actually stay in there without much of an issue. But a lot of these are just bad, you know. And I fixed this one on it. Another Anderson. Everything is Anderson pretty much, you know. Anderson rocks, you know. They can like do up to what, 45 amps, so they don't get hot or anything like that. It's very nice. There's a lot of these cable or plugs that get heated. The device that I have right behind me, the plug here is like I think it's an 8 millimeter barrel plug. They get hot when they get to 8 amps, which is the maximum that it charges with. It's just stupid. Like, why would you choose something that actually gets heated, you know? Why wouldn't you just choose an Anderson? I've tested a lot of things and all. Anderson, like, even if you run 8 amps through it, it's like, you can't even feel that it's being used, you know? I just standard. It's wonderful. Anyway. But it's just stupid to use these barrel plugs when it's like, do I have a barrel plug? I guess I only have. Yeah, well, I guess we can take it out. Just So these are the barrel plugs, you know. And I also have another issue in regards of this machine. Apparently, most of the barrel plugs doesn't work with it anymore. I don't know what happened in regards to that, but Apparently the one with the red thing on it seems to be the best and still seem to make contact. I don't know what happened, but the others that I have stopped working, So, yeah, I don't know. So I have a lot of these others that just doesn't work anymore. Um, so it's terrible plug. Absolutely, I shouldn't. I guess the thing is that it's pretty much in regards to the money and in regards of the lithium, iron phosphate batteries and all that. It's the still as it's the cheapest option. I'm not sure if it's still the cheapest option with in regards to the things and all that. But when I bought it, it was still the cheapest option, even if it has these bad things in regards to like the plug and all that. Of course, it doesn't. If the plug stops working, it's kind of a problem. But anyway, I already have. But that was my own fault. That wasn't actually the. I've already changed the front panel, print panel. Actually, I have a. This is like a front panel thing, and I burned this off. I had to change it. Well, they wanted me to send the device back to them. It's like I don't know how many kilos, and they want me to send it back. This is the typical bullshit of this demonic world. I'm like, just send me a new piece of print, and I'll change it myself. But they didn't. It took me I'm just sick and tired. It just took me a time to make them understand. Send me a new panel. I'll pay for the panel. Just send me a new panel. Or send me a new print and all. You know what they did? They sent the wrong thing. The first, finally they kind of okay. We'll send you now if you insist and all that. Like, why would I even need to insist? Just do what I say. I want a new panel. Send it to me. Oh no, send it for repair. No. You send me the panel. No, blah blah blah. Anyway. And also I needed to buy, because they're so stupidly, they have made that if you have the screws in the bottom, and they have made it so you need a long screwdriver. Like, all my screwdrivers couldn't get down there to reach the thing. So I had to buy these backhoes things and all that. I had to buy a whole set because I couldn't get the one that I needed at a singular screwdriver. I had to buy a whole new set, whole new set for one screwdriver. They had lots of screwdrivers and all that of different variants and all that, except the very one that I needed. Isn't that just typical? So I had to buy the whole set. So I have a lot of screwdrivers, just like whatever. Anyway, I did actually one of the screwdrivers. I guess I ended up, making it like to the toilet thing in regards to the long, flat thing and all that. But anyway, yeah. So this one is kind of you need that to actually get down to the screws. So that's another, insanity of them, where they just don't make, like, give me a break, like, yeah, just give me a break. That's bullshit. More bullshit. So that's, it's like they do everything they can, right? It's not only Blue Edgy that does it. Everybody does it, right? We are not allowed to repair things ourselves, and they design it to be trashed so you can buy something new, and then they give the users the fault for it, right? It's our fault that there's so much trash, when they make things purposely that it stops working, or it becomes slow, or this and that, like updates my this and updates my that and all that. So, but yeah, so anyway, I changed the thing and all that, and now it's working again. But yeah, the thing is, if this charging plug dies, I'm not capable of changing it. I think. That's like it is fixed with some kind of heating thing, and maybe it is possible. I wonder where it's actually further connected. Oh, maybe that's the other connection. Okay. I wouldn't be so if in regards, it might be possible if you are very good at the soldering thing or whatever it's called, and maybe it is possible to, for example, get this thing out that worked and all that, and would actually be, if I could actually just change the plug, it actually could be even better. Maybe you could actually change the plug. Maybe I could actually. I would need to see what is plus and minus. Maybe you could actually connect an Anderson plug to it, and I guess maybe you could actually just, if you could take this out. Yeah, if I took the, yeah, I could also take one of these out, I guess. But if I took the cigarette thing out, because already, I have these things, and if I actually need a cigarette thing, I can just plug an Anderson thing where there's like a cigarette thing on it, an adapter and all that. So if I could actually take this out, maybe I could actually maybe pull an Anderson through it. Yeah, problem is in regards of getting this out without damaging the rest. Because it seems like it's a thing that they just pushed in there and then it's like nearly impossible to get out, I think. I don't think it will be easy to get it out. I think it's pretty stuck. But I think that's the way that it needs to go. Of course, I have this one that I can toy around with and open up and actually find out. But that would make, maybe I could actually just make a hole in other place actually. Yeah, I could actually just make a hole in. Oh yeah, that would really, yeah. Just make a hole in a. Yeah, it depends. It depends in regards to how it's inside. If there's anything that actually is in. But if there's nothing down here in regards of things inside the machine, I could just make a hole. Maybe actually just fix an Anderson plug, like glue it in there or something like that, or something. And you would have, and then it would need to be fixed with a, wire thing up to this point. I would need to find out what is plus and minus. And maybe you could actually have an Anderson thing. I'll like fix this on, but not sure because of. I would need to just have my. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, it just needs to be connected to that point or this point up here. It seems like they've connected that to. Well, I could also just. It's not going to be easy. Well, yeah. Well, wait a minute. If I just fix that and connect it to, and then click it in, and then just fix it. Well, we'll just have. I guess I could put some. I would be. Yeah, it would be needing to be very, very careful, and I'm not that good in regards to soldering and all that. Um, but yeah, I think it could actually be done. So you could actually fix an Anderson plug into it instead of this other kind of nonsense that they put in here. I think it's possible, but it's yeah, I would need to be very, very careful. But yeah, I think it's possible. That's a good question. We're talking about up here, right? So if I have one here and you have some soldering, and I guess that would be plus and minus. So minus is around it, in regards to the soldering, and then you have the red wire here, which I guess, you know, if you're going to trust the red thing, you know, it would be the plus, right? And you would need, well, I guess, you know, you could actually, how is it actually fixed on? Question. It's all this, but yeah, maybe you could actually fix an Anderson plug on it. Maybe you could. You know, again, it shouldn't really be, you know, like, it's not like the biggest brain thing, you know, in regards to fixing things, right? Like, we have a plus and a minus. It goes into the machine, right? And it then connects to something. So in regards of the Anderson plug, it, you know, you can just find out how it actually fixes in regards to this, then I should maybe be able to just fix an Anderson plug in it, and not have these connection issues and all that. That was just absolutely ridiculous. And of course also have this thing that if it actually gets 8 amps, it actually, you know, these barrel plug thing gets, I wonder if I can actually, maybe you could actually, maybe you can fix an Anderson plug actually up where, you know, up next to the, you know, I have the, you know, inside here. Maybe you can actually fix an Anderson plug here, something like that. Just fix it out, put an Anderson plug in, and then just next to it. That would be pretty nice, but I'm not sure if that's possible. It's not that much room for the print and all that, but yeah, I guess the Anderson plug might end up, you know, being a little out, but we kind of don't want that. I would need to find a place where there's actually room for it. I guess in regards of the cigarette thing could be a possibility. Do we have like, no, I don't have the, let's see here. Well, we can actually, there's enough room for an Anderson plug here for sure. So you could also just cut open the cigarette plug and just not use the cigarette plug and just cut it up, and then just fix some stuff in it, you know, that kind of glues or something like that. Put the Anderson plug in there. I'm not entirely sure how that, you know, well, I guess it would still need to have it closed, but I could also just make like a hole for the wires. I guess I could make a hole for the wires and just drop the wires through, and then use the cigarette, you know, just fill it up with some gooey thing or something like that stiffens up, and put the Anderson in there, you know, and there you go. Then you would have like, yeah, it just, you know, you there's some possibilities. And then fix it up, then at least it would not be too outside. You can just still plug it in there, and you don't have that issue in regards of the print. It's the only place where it's pretty much is a hole in the print, right? So you should be able to put an Anderson, you know, you can, let's see here, you can put the Anderson plug right in there, right, like very far, like it goes, you know, yeah, like Anderson plug, right, and it's just more than enough room for. Could have been nice if that was like a, anyway. Maybe no. So the cigarette lighter might actually be a thing. And again, the cigarette lighter, you know, runs through the other 12 volts that I have, which I pretty much have made a racket of Anderson, like, you can see here, right? I made a rack of Anderson plugs here that are 12 volts and all that. And if you need like a thing for the car thing and all that, you could always fix an adapter like this one, right? Although it needs to be a she, right? But you know, you just put the Anderson thing in and there you go. So it's a possibility. I'll have to think about that. See if I don't know. That's at least one. And the thing is, they run on the same thing, you know, so I don't lose anything pretty much. They run on the 12 volts, 10 amps, so it's not like the three are connected together in regards to that circuit. So I don't lose anything in regards of availability in regards to that. So yeah, that's a way to, you know, just put an Anderson in there, put it with a lot of gluey thing. Or maybe I could just put something that, yeah, it would be nice with some kind of gluey thing that kind of stiffens it in there. I don't know, maybe I could. I guess another way would actually be to fix it in there. We don't want it too far. Yeah, I don't know. Stiff, you know, fill it up with different things and all that, just to, I don't know how the best thing would be. I don't think it's possible to do. I guess I could try it out on this one and see, you know, try things out and see first and foremost and see if that works out, and then do it on the real device afterwards. I'm not sure. It would be kind of terrible to destroy the unit, you know. Or maybe if the, you know, maybe I'll wait if I get further issues with the thing here, and if I get further issues, then try to fix it with fixing an Anderson plug. It could be nice just to have the Anderson without all this other nonsense. Just have that right there. That'll be pretty good. Oh well. So yeah, so that's the front panel of the Blue Yeti that I have, and yeah, they really didn't. They really, you know, they really, you know, all this nonsense, this signed nonsense, is terrible. They just make it harder for the user to repair things, and of course that's on purpose. They also make, you know, all the companies does it. You know, they make things, you know, break and blah blah. They don't make things that, you know, so it actually, you know, you know, can live for a long time. But yeah, it's a, you know, either, you know, if the plug dies, this top plug in regards to the other one, there's two possibilities. The one possibility is to get a new front thing, and of course at that point it will, you know, I can, you know, if it doesn't work, you know, there's no way of further destroying it, so I could try the Anderson thing. Now the idea at least is there, how there might be some possibilities to do it. So, but maybe I'll wait for a further future in regards to that. And as long as the other plug works, I guess it's okay. It's pretty much nearly done in regards of recording, and it seems like it's doing the thing up and down, up and down, up and down. So I guess it's just a feature of it. Hopefully it didn't burn anything off. But it seems like it might be just a feature of the Hot Logic Mini that is standing behind me. So, yeah. $38.6 watts. 12, 24, 36. It's not that, you know, 36 watts, 38 watts. It's not that much of a difference. So maybe it's okay in regards to the 36 watts. Maybe it doesn't lose that much. Of course, the voltage might go a little down. And again, I don't know if that actually might actually heat it further up. Actually, I don't know. It's. Again, I would need some kind of temperature thing inside of it and then test it out. So I really also should read the manual as well in regards of it. Um, yeah. Yeah, 38.4 watts seems to be the where it seems to stay at the moment, right? So yeah, in regards of 30, 34 watts, it's just it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Maybe it's not a problem, but yeah, I still I still would like to find something that can handle 5 amps in 12 volts. I want to take that windmill down, but the thing is, if I take it down, the question is where to place it. I guess I need to pack it down in a. I have someone that would like to, that would like to have it, and I think that's fair enough. Yeah, you can come and get it for sure. I'll need to further look into. Even if I get a expensive windmill, it might not work. It might not do anything either. Might do not do much. So I guess it might not matter much. So I'm thinking maybe in regards to they can be very expensive. The professional windmills. So, and again, I don't know how much it will actually get me. So it might actually just be better just to buy another solar panel, for example. Something of that nature. I could have 3 solar panels in total, pretty much. So. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Now, of course, it would. The problem is like in the summer they will produce more than I can get into the system. I know that is what it is, right? Well, no, actually, the batteries might actually be able to do it. Actually, but I still need to, have the other things sorted out. I want to make this unit not begin to have its fans, and actually, I had some of these small things where you can actually adjust the amperage and all that. I sadly burned them, well, uh, yeah, I burned them off. I think I have 2, but at least, yeah. Anyway, I burned it off. I can't, it's like at least one. I think there was more that was sitting and trying. I think I had 2. Anyway, whatever. I burned multiple things at that day. But anyway, one of the main things I was like, oh, it works, right? The thing is, I went way beyond what it was made for, but it actually worked in regards of taking so and so much from the batteries. So I just need a unit that actually can handle the wattage and then it can actually just it can transfer from the batteries over to it without starting the fans. Of course, the fans will start if you use energy from 230 volts and all that. But at least it won't start the fans when you actually get things into it. And the idea, of course, is that I would have like 2 places of energy, storage. So from the solar panels into the first place, and then from the first place, it will, fix into the Blue Edgy, but it won't do more than like 80. I haven't checked it totally, but around 80 watts or something like that, then it doesn't start the fans. There we go with the fans, but that means that there's probably Yeah, 103 watts. So now the fans are running, and it's kind of not, noisy. It's not too bad, but it's still like, give me a break, right? Although in the summer you can actually, you can take and use it to make it blow air into your, I mean, like a whole thing in the side of it, and you can actually fix that for getting some air out in your face, and usually it's cold air anyway. So, but it has two fans running through the machine. So, but if I can just, make it like around 80 watts and like on the level where it doesn't begin to start the fans, that would be nice. So if it pours down in one pull, and from the one pull it pours into the other in a lesser extent. So this pull will be emptied little by little and all that, and then it will fill up the blue and it should work without any issues, and make the first pull ready to take more. It shouldn't be able to actually fill it totally up and all that. So it should work pretty good in theory, as far as I can see. Or think, as far as I can think, So that should be working pretty good. You know what? Let's get this one on. I'm not sure I need that anymore. Yeah, I guess I don't. I guess it's one of these adapters. Actually, it's interesting. Why is it that actually hot? Why would the already nothing that should? I don't think there would be anything that actually. Yeah, it's interesting. Why would that be hot? Like, why would that be heated? Oh well. Anyway, maybe it's the thing in regards to getting juice into the machine. Maybe it gets out in the print. There we go again. Now, of course, the positive thing is when the fans goes on, we know that there's sun outside, and that's nice. Anyway, we have this one I need to fix in again. Can't remember which direction I already had it. I guess it doesn't. I think that was that difference in regards to the two. I can't remember, but whatever. Probably not that much. So what you do is just push it in there, and you hope for the best. And if it doesn't work the first time, then you just do it again. But there we go. And it's stopped, I think. Yeah. Well, some up there. Well, I think we're going to try again. Yeah, okay, we'll try again. Sometimes it just doesn't. Well, we can actually, okay, move it a little back. See here if that works better. Oh yeah, actually just try that. Okay. But yeah, the idea, of course, is to get the rubber thing or rubber band. Oh, there we go with a rubber band. So the thing is to get the rubber band to engage in regard to sticking inside of there, so it actually makes like a, and it makes it stay there. Let's try again. So let's try, see here if we can get it, and hopefully it will slide in there. Uh-oh. There we go. Well, it's not totally perfect, but it's sticky. Yeah, let's try again. Again, sometimes it takes some tries to get it to actually stay in there. That's why you don't want like too thick of rubber bands. You kind of want, some slim rubber bands to do it with, and to see if you can get it as far as you want it, like in Maybe you could actually glue it actually in regards to the rub. Maybe you could actually make some glue and then just make this it stick, because then it wouldn't be able to actually run away from you. Yes, that's another possibility of doing it, I guess. You want to have it. Come on. Go in. Yeah, I think it's not totally. Oh well, it did something, but I just kind of want it to be a perfect thing. Okay, let's try that. Try again. But you get the idea. Okay, go on. Go on. Well, it might not be perfect, but it's stuck. It sits there, and it doesn't. It's pretty stuck in there, so it doesn't just get out. So I just need to. I can't even turn it. Okay, there we go. So yeah, there we go. So now it sits there. So yeah, a little bit of rubber thing. I was like thinking, if you actually just used a little glue so the rubber band would stick, maybe, of course, then you kind of, I don't know. I think maybe I have tried that. I was like thinking maybe you could take some of this plastic that just snaps, in, like that would probably be too much, for it to actually be able to go into the plug. But yeah, whatever. Hmm. Of course, I am using it now at the moment for some USB A and all that. But there's already some USB A, and I could just fix a hub or something like the USB hub. I do have some USB A's with multiple plug thing and all that. I could just connect to it and have more. So. So that's really not a problem. Oh. Yep. But yeah, we'll see. If it goes broke, then I guess I have one that I can toy around with and see if I can. I could also see if I could replace it with this plug that I have from here. See how it actually. Because I think it's like, soldered on. You have a wire, and then you have the soldered on for the. And maybe if you can take that off, you can replace it with the other plug and all that. Yeah, it would be nice with an Anderson plug. That would be awesome. Then just connect it and then have an Anderson plug that you can just plug in. And yeah. 64 watts at the moment. But yeah, in regards to starting the fans, the Blue Yeti does it around 80 watts and all that. I was actually, when turning it up, I was trying to test it before it actually just burned off, Very sad. The one I had was like one display and all that. It was pretty good. But apparently it's only made for 35 watts, and I was nearing 80 watts, so so it kind of it's burned off. But of course, it's not made for it either, because of that unit at least. But I know that exists somewhere else. Hey, At least it was nice to see it actually work in practice, you know. So it does work in practice, so that's nice. But yeah, the other one I have is like that doesn't empty the batteries either totally and all that. I wonder how that connects in regards to if you have the solar again testing. You know, that's the only way to, well, in regards to some theory and some testing, and you know, you try out, you read, you try things out, and things goes as it goes, right? And you burn a lot of things off, you know. Isn't that not totally in? I'm not sure. Oh, that's a minor issue, I guess. Uh. Well, I still would be nice if there was an adapter with like 5 amps, 12 volts. Yeah, it runs around 38.5.6 watts at the moment. So yeah, and now it turns off again. I pretty much have a full picture in regards of it, like going down and it turns up and then it comes around 40 volts for a short time or something like that. Then it goes down, you know, going to normal. Then it turns off, then it comes up again. You know, you can just see it going and going and going. That's like a pattern in regards of it. At least, and that's maybe it's because that the water is already hot, so maybe it's just trying to. Although I would think that it might have turned off a little more if the water is hot, you know. Like now it turns off, and when it turns on again, it goes up to, oh sorry, not 40, like watts, of course, in regards to 40 watts. I see here, if it doesn't go up to 40. 33 watts, it's still turning on, off, on, off, on, off. I don't know what's there. On, off. 40 watts, yeah. So the maximum it gets up to is 40 watts. So when it does this thing in regards to turning on, turning off, turning off, turning off. It seems to be continuing to do it at the moment. Oh, 40 watts. Yeah, that's the maximum, 40 watts. Yeah, 40 watts. Still not sure why it's just turning on, turning off, turning on. Anyway, hopefully I haven't destroyed it by doing the 15 voltage. I don't think so, but you never know. Maybe I should have tested in regards to how the unit works before actually trying around with that kind of thing, right? Yeah, it is pretty hot. Okay, now we have 38 watts again. Now it's again on it. Okay. Let's see. Let's open it up. Oh, huh? Wow, it's damping. Let's see here. It's actually damp coming up. Is that actually water underneath it? Maybe it's maybe some moisture. I don't know if it actually. Yeah, it's. Oh, it's hot. Oh my. It's really hot. And it's smoking as well. I don't know when it actually begins to like smoke and all that, but it's hot. Really hot. Oh yeah, maybe I could. Guess I can make something. I know that's probably too big. Oh yeah, like biggie. It's probably too big to. Is it? No. Oh, it's perfect. Great. There you go. Oh, there we go. Some hot water. We can make some. I really don't want some green tea, but we could also just put some cinnamon drops in it. Good essential cinnamon oil. Let's just put a couple of drops. There we go. It should be more than enough. And I'll stir it around. And we have some cinnamon tea. That's nice. It's interesting that the oil seemed to... Oh, okay, well, okay, now I can see the oil. Let's give it a little more. I want to break down the oil. Now, of course, oil and water usually don't go so good, but it is possible. To break it. That's pretty good. I don't see any oil things anymore. Oh, this is too hot. I mean, not too bad. Oh well, there we go. A little flavor thing. I don't think the taste of cinnamon was that big, you know. I put a whole drop in it, so but maybe I need to drink a little more. Yeah, let's try again. Yeah, I guess it's nearly like at the, even if it's hot, it's not like. Still have to be careful, but it's colder than I've expected. When you get it in, it feels like it's, you know, it feels like it's hot on the, but it's, you get it in, it's like it's not that, you know, it's not that bad. It's a good temperature, you know. Although, yeah. Of course, this device is not made for, you know, cooking water and all that. But yeah, it's interesting. Let's see if we can we like. Yeah, apparently there's some water underneath it. Not sure where that is coming from. I guess it might be dripping out of the box when they're heating it up. Ooh, we have the heat device that is hot. I'm gonna close that down. There we go. Yeah, I will do more investigation on this. But yeah, like 36, what is like 36, 48, 38, 30. 6 watts or something like that. Again, it's not. It's just in regards of can you actually do it with a USB device, right? And you know, a battery. Could you actually just take a battery with you and charge it? Well, without too much. Well, again, you could still use one of these things that fix it up to the, and then just run 20. But yeah, it's multiple things you need to put together to do it, and of course there's a laws in regards of using a device like this. So see, yeah, I think it's still charging the one battery. Yeah, I will just charge the 3 batteries, and I guess I will do some more testing in regards to how long they can actually last in regards of fixing things. Yeah, it's not like very, it's not. It's already pretty good temperature where you can just take it in. It's hot, but it's not that hot, Cinnamon. Yeah, I looked into these Hot Logic Mini, and there's some new devices in regards to that. I also found another company that also makes where you can adjust things a little further than the Hot Logic, and you can actually apparently swap the two because the two warming elements apparently is the same size. That could be interesting, some options again, Of course, the question is it actually feasible? I think it's the question. The feasible, I guess that's the word, to actually have, to have it with you in regards if you have. Can you actually make something? Can you actually use? Yeah, that's the question. And then I'm thinking like, you might actually need one of these smaller power banks that actually might be able to charge and discharge at the same time. Because then you can have the solar panels. Like if you're in Israel, where there's a lot of sun, if the solar panel, if you have some kind of solar panel that gives a good amount of energy, then you could also use that at the same time when you're cooking, right? Using the Hot Logic. Then it would get a little, it would get some further power into it, I'm not sure if it's like if you have like let's say you get a fish. How long would it take for the fish to, how long would it take for it to cook a fish, right? A whole fish, 6 hours. That's a lot of energy, If it's like I don't know, maybe less than maybe less than maybe 2 hours. Who knows? 3 hours. I don't know. I would need to test it out. Could be interesting. I don't know why I haven't. I had this device for so long. Why didn't I kind of test it out? Just on the sideline, just testing it out for minor things while doing other things. But I guess it's. Guess everything takes time and all that. Okay, I think lost on the tea. Can I actually? That's a good question. How can I empty the? Oh, it's hot. The glass is hot. Like. Probably should do this over at the thing here. See if I can get the hot water into the thing and make some more cinnamon tea, I think. Let's take this one up. Ah, the gloves does work. Let's see if we can. There we go, that went pretty good. Let's get some cinnamon. Couple of drops. I think that was more than enough of cinnamon drops. Great. I just need to have the cinnamon thing fixed here. I guess it's a way to, you know, cook some water while testing it, I guess. I don't know why mine came with a glass thing. I would rather have had some plastic. You're not going to take glass with you if you're going out hiking. That was the thought about it. The thing about the grill device. The grill device in regards to the other device I have. I guess a lot of weight to have on, you know. I have this thing which, you know, you can just find some things and you can turn on and it burns and all that, and you can heat water and things of that nature. There's also a grill with it. It's like the grill is just so big. Yeah, anyway, I guess you could take it with you anyway, and see if it actually, and it's like, then we need some fishing thing to catch some fish, and that doesn't, you know, it needs not to be too much either. Right, we want to keep it compact, and yet I'm thinking like if I need to have a grill with me, and in regards to this device, maybe it's like it could be, you know, I guess it's. Maybe I could try it, you know, tried in Denmark before. Well, the problem is in regards to there's not that much sun in Denmark, so in regards to the solar panels, that's not feasible, at least in regards to that, because there's so much more sun in Israel. Oh, it could be interesting to try those fishes out that they have. I'm just thinking of Galilee and all that, just walking around at Galilee, getting some fish, you know, making some food, you know, relaxing. Oh yeah, that would be nice with a, you know, if I had a seat like that, it could be nice. Anyway, oh yeah, I really should get to the, I think they're closing soon. I guess, okay. Actually closing in an hour. Oh well. See how far I get. Yeah, that was interesting. Oh, there's so much. Oh. I was like, safe work. Running low. Oh. Not bad. I guess it's charging the battery. I only have 2 USB-C in the machine, so in regards to charging the... Oh, wait a minute, stupid me. I could just have used this one. Incredible stupid sometimes. Oh. I don't understand why I didn't think about that, you know. It's like, yeah, I had this other USB thing and that does 100 watts and all that. The carefully pink thing and all that, so. Anyway, if you need a nice USB tester that you can use for a lot of things, you know, I've tortured these C4 thing, you know, and get the C. Well, if you're gonna, yeah, I guess the new version is the C5 version. I think it works pretty much the same, and you have like this screen that you can make up for yourself and all that. So they have different things. You can also run it on computer and see what is going on and stuff and all that. But yeah, lots of things to do with it, pretty much. And you can also change the voltage to 5, you know, and all that. But it's a little hard to figure that out, I guess. But it's like incredible that actually took me some time to figure that out, you know. I didn't know for a long time you could actually do that. But apparently you can do that, you know. So. Cinnamon. It's good. And it's the dangerous cinnamon. You know, it's like, it's, good, you know, whatever. I can't even remember, what was that about in regards, yeah. I was like, oh, it's blah, 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 yeah. I can't remember all the details in regards to that, in regards to the... Yeah, they're making, you know, the so-called dangerous thing. They actually make blood thinner in regards to that. Yeah, so-called medicine, right? But they don't want you to take the cinnamon where it actually has it already. Yeah, it's interesting, right? As you know, when you get blood thinner and all that, right? You can get a list of the foods that you're not allowed to eat, or because it's like blood thinning, you know. It's like, yeah, like, why not just eat some food that is blood thinning instead of all that, you know, all those things from the medical mafia. I hate living here. I don't think I'm going to get out of the door today. I'm really sure. There's a lot of things I need to do. Lots of paperwork and sorting out, and need to get that up to the... I guess I did sort out some things, you know. I was like waiting 9 o'clock and all that, and then it went past 9 o'clock, and then like, now I just want to go to sleep. That is still a terrible feeling, because I am so far from doing all the things that I need to do. It's terrible. It's like I already had more than enough to do when I was in my old apartment. And then they're moving you around one place, then to another place, and wasting energy and time on absolute rubbish in regards to moving around. Yeah, like and you don't have any place to lay the specific things. You don't have any place where you like have a standard thing, and you know, as you had in the old apartment and all that. It just becomes a mess, and you give up on it all pretty much. You end up giving up. It's like you know, everything is against you these days. The world is a madhouse. That's actually pretty good. I got pretty good amount of cinnamon in that one. That's pretty good. Cinnamon tea. Yeah, but I guess it would be nice to get that windmill away. Would give a little more, sightseeing. I guess it is like an obstacle in the way. Producing nothing, pretty much. Yeah. China sucks. Well, and out in regards of it anyway. It's just cheap China. Cheap China. Absolute rubbish. Just a toy. Well, it's an interesting toy, right? I got some. I got some. Yeah, I got some experience with it. So, it's. But not worth like 0 point like what 3 or 4 watts, right? And again, the solar panels, just even in this bad weather, produces at the moment 11 watts. Like look at this bad weather, right? Like, actually, yeah. This is the bad weather, right? It's like gray, gray, gray. And it produces 12 watts. 12 watts at the moment. I have 2 solar panels. From sun power, I don't know, I'm not sure if they actually make these panels anymore. But they were the best of the best in regards of lightweight and all that. And I must say, they're pretty good. But yeah, of course, if you don't have sun, it's kind of. But yeah, 12 volts or watts. Sorry, watts. So they're producing 12 watts in this bad weather. Now, if I had one more, I'll be 6, 12, 18. That would be 18 watts. So again, in the winter and in bad weather, of course, if I had one solar panel more of these, it would be you know it would be pretty good. It would produce a little more, and of course that would be awesome. Um, of course, the Blue 80 can only pretty much take an intake of 200. I think in regards to the solar panels, the maximum I've done is 160 watts, but that's pretty much also the maximum in regards of the amps, because the Blue 80 can only take 8 amps. Now I have that's a device that can actually boost the voltage, and I actually had my eyes on a unit, but sadly, yeah, well, maybe it's on the other computer in regards to the tabs, and I don't know if I can actually pay for that. Because again of all the madness that is going around. So I haven't really ordered anything from the internet for a long, long time, because I can't. Well, PayPal. Well, besides actually bad food in regards to fast food, that was possible to do. As you can see, how fat I am. because I fell into the trap of Just Eat, Like they sent me this thing like, oh, you can get very, very, very cheap food. The next 3 orders you can and it's to my mailbox, Absolutely disgusting. Like, why would they send an advertising? You just give me a break. Yeah, the tea is pretty good, That's not bad. I feel so tired. Well, I need to get down to 80 kilos. 80 kilos. Well, anyway, I was weighing over 140 kilos. Now I'm down to under 130. Close to 130. And I need to get down to, I need to have 50 kilos more to take off. It's terrible being so fat, That's 60 kilos, too much. That's way, way too much. It's like the starved David, so-called starved David, Well, I guess you could call it this, it's like Bob, But also in regards to the star, in regards to the prophecy of the star, of course. Kind of a thing. Anything else I need to do? I guess not. Well, there's a lot of things I need to do, right? But so I'll see if charging the batteries, the USB batteries, and then I guess I'll try out how long I can actually get with the batteries. Doesn't seem to be that long, if I have 1.5 hour and all that, that's not that long for cooking, right? That's not much at all. Yeah. Oh, I guess I closed it down. Incredible how closed automatic bullshit. Yeah, I think that's actually what we call it, right? Automatical bullshit. That seems to be a good word for it. Automatic bullshit. Automatic bullshit. That's what it is. I've been sitting here, right? And it could have been loading all the tabs in the background while I was doing all the other things. But the Satanists don't want us to have background loading. So nearly every single browser don't have the option. Not only do they turn it off, right? but they don't even let the option be there, so it just loads things in the background. That's apparently too much. Yep. Oh, what is that? Oh, that's the Danish papers. Oh my, he's so terrible. But it's not, it's nice to come directly from the other side, so you know what they really believe. And he actually, he talks pretty good out of the back, But he's, he's clearly on Team Satan, Seems like he's a teacher of some kind, apparently. He must have been teaching on some, Roman Catholic thing, It's closing in. Oh well, okay. Okay.
Og Sverige og Norge, og Grønland som en stor klat.
Watch out for 666. Watch out for 666. In a vision of the future, I saw in a vivid dream that the hour is soon coming when men will become machines. A new one world order will rise and then demand that all the world's people receive their scientific brand. I saw a tiny pre-programmed computer chip so thin, implanted in men's foreheads underneath their skin, linking all its bearers to the system's central brain. The master computer that over them will reign.
I had a webpage with I had a webpage with all the music, although some of it was not like, but yeah, it now to find, some of the things that was, if there was any other songs that was good, but it's just interesting because it like they made the song in regards of the 80s, I think.
That is designed to strip you of your self-control. Don't sell yourself. Men's thoughts will be programmed by this new technology.
It's interesting because the last couple of the 4 years of the madness that's been going around, like people are like, oh, seeing that there's something wrong, but they quickly go to sleep again. It's like many of those seeing like, oh, there's things going on, all that, they wake up and they quickly go to sleep again. Although it's interesting, before the thing, like things were like totally, like after 9/11 and all that, right? And the whole thing, like pretty much seems like that it had gone silent, that everybody had gone to sleep again, and then this this thing came around last couple of years, and then people woke up. It was interesting to see.
Their slaves will always be. So hearken to this warning. If it's life and love you choose, then you'll follow the truth, and that mark you will refuse. Watch out for 666 and their computer chip. That is designed to strip you of your self-control. Watch out for 666 and their computer chip. That is designed to strip you of your self-control. Don't sell your soul. Don't sell your soul. Watch out for 666.
So again, I think that was made in
Watch out for 666.
the 80s,
Watch out.
sometimes in the 80s. I guess I wonder how far the computers at. I think it's from the 80s anyway. Or maybe it's the 90s, but it is, an old song. There, the song Moses.
Waxed fat and kicked you fattened up, grew sleek and thick. He turned from his creator God and scorned to prize his saving rock. They made him jealous with strange gods. They piqued his rage with filthy frauds. To demon gods they sacrificed, to upstart idols they devised. The rock who formed you, you ignore, forgetting God who brought you forth. When Yahweh saw their breach of trust, he turned away in his disgust. His sons and daughters piqued his rage. He said, I will conceal my face. I'll see their history to its end. These sons on whom I can't depend. They made me jealous with non-gods, enraged me with their idol frauds. I'll make them jealous with non-sons, enrage them choosing foolish ones. My rage sets fire they cannot quell, and it shall burn to lowest hell, devouring earth and all her fruit. It kindles fire in mountain roots. I'll spend my arrows heaping woes until devoured by burning coals they waste away from hunger pangs. I'll send against them beastly fangs and fiery serpents of the dust. Inside and out the sword will thrust to terrorize young man and maid, the nursing child and man of gray. I would have said, I'll shatter them and blot all trace of them from men, but I was loath to rile their foes who might misunderstand their woes. Our mighty hand did this, they'd say, and not the Lord in any way. These heathen wander lacking wits, nor is there wisdom in their midst.
No, you gotta be kidding. Sunday of the Holy Icons? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What absolutely rubbish. How can you go from from this song to that's, nonsense, You gotta be kidding me. Oh, the devil is everywhere these days. Yeah, it's just bad weather. It was raining yesterday. And I also have these plates that I need to get down in the basement. So let's see here. 12. When is that? That's like 21st, a long time. Bum 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 bum. It was like a Saturday or what? Yeah, Saturday.
Now, that means it would present and your future, and that of all of mankind. We're going to talk about dinosaurs. Tyrannosaurus rex, Pachycephalosaurus, Acrocanthosaurus. Are there any dinosaurs still alive today? Recently, our team arrived from an international expedition in the jungles of Papua New Guinea. We have over a dozen eyewitness accounts of creatures that for the world sound like in the description of those personal eyewitness accountants, including pastors, educators, school teachers, heads of clans, chieftains. These creatures, according to those descriptions, for the world sound like rhamphorhynchoid pterodactyls with leather-like wings, reptiles with a beak, a crest, hands on their wings, webbed feet. These creatures glow in the dark from their undersection. Often the tail glows in the dark. For you scholars in the audience, you'll recognize that a pterodactyl that has a tail would be a rhamphorhynchoid pterodactyl. Now, according to the theory of evolution, which in the past I have believed and taught, but do no longer believe nor teach, according to the theory of evolution, rhamphorhynchoid pterodactyls saw their demise 225 million years ago. Are they still around? Well, let's explore the issue. I'm glad you're here. By the way, how did you get here? Well, I don't mean your mode of transportation, the vehicle in which you arrived. I mean, how did you get here? You as a person, living, breathing, thinking, reasoning, feeling, deciding, sensing all that's about you. How did you get here? That question is central to what makes us tick and all our future. It's central to our reasoning processes. The great philosophers of the centuries have asked that question along with three others. Every grandmother in this audience, every child, every granddad, every parent, every individual that has walked down sandy trails and jungles, every individual who has faced the asphalt jungles of modern civilization, every philosopher and scientist has asked these four questions. These are the great questions of life. Number one, who am I? Who are you? Number two, how did I get here? That's the question I asked a moment ago. What brought me here? What are the life processes? Did I arrive by naturalistic circumstances with a fortunate combination of time, chance, and inanimate matter? Did the universe produce me in an evolutionary, naturalistic means? Or was I supernaturally created in the original proto-form? How did I get here? Number three, what am I doing here? What's my purpose here? Number four, where am I going? All of these issues are germane to the issues of life. All people ask these questions. They may not phrase them in that particular phraseology, but all individuals worldwide have always asked these questions, and we're going to explore these questions and hopefully arrive at some plausible academic answers. This program examines life origins, comparison of life origins, evolution or creation. Who am I? How did I get here? What's my purpose here? And where am I going? We've been taught in this modern generation, and I have explored educational paths down dusty trails in distant lands and down jungle trails and sandy beaches. I've lectured in some of the major universities and some of the colleges of the world. I've lectured to private audiences, and I've been concerned about these questions. Life origins, comparison of life origins. There was a time when I personally thought humanistic and atheistic thoughts. There was a time when I believed and taught evolution. What changed my own thinking? Let's explore the issues. Is it possible for evolution to have occurred? Two of the world's great scholars, astrophysicists, Sir Frederick Hoyle, PhD, and Chandra Wickramasinghe, PhD, explored the issues recently with unlimited funding, unlimited access to the libraries and laboratories of the world, and they wanted to know the answer to the question, is it possible for life to have originated somewhere in the universe or on planet Earth by naturalistic means? And that's illustrated in the Big Bang Theory, timeline of the universe, the naturalistic concept. And we have paraphrased that academically to show a moment of infinite temperature and inflation, an era of inflation. The documentation early, according to the postulate of humanists and astrophysicists who work in cosmology, of gravity, a strong force, electromagnetic force, and a weak force. And then a time when the universe became transparent very early in the evolution of the universe according to standard evolutionary model. And then a time when galaxies and quasars began to appear, and the current chaotic universe becoming self-realizing in the mind of man. What are the possibilities that this could occur? After spending more than a decade examining the issues and having at their disposal unlimited funding, unlimited access to the great libraries and laboratories of the world, Sir Frederick Hoyle and Chandra Wickramasinghe came to a conclusion. They stated that life originating in this universe or on planet Earth by naturalistic circumstances has one chance in 10 to the 40,000th power. Let me say that again. One chance in 10 to the 40,000th power. And then these two great scholars said, let's illustrate how impossible that is. They said it would be easier for a whirlwind to sweep through a junkyard and assemble a Boeing 747 jet in flight out the other end than it would be for life to have originated on planet Earth or in the universe by natural evolutionary means. You see, physicists tell us that in the entire universe, whether the universe began as an expression of the creativity of a personal God, or whether the universe began by naturalistic means, the sum total of data is identical. Now, according to the measurements and calculations of physicists, there are in the entire universe 10 to the 80th power of electrons. If we filled the entire universe with electrons, you know there's a lot of space out there, a lot of apparent nothingness, even though there are atoms and the space itself has a field of energy. But if we filled the entire space of the universe with electrons, which would be the smallest unit of measurable particle, if we filled it all, we would have 10 to the 130th power of electrons. Now, that means it would be easier for someone to mark a single electron, to blindfold a man, have him wander throughout the entire universe, give him one chance, one guess. He would have to accurately select that particular electron. It would be much easier for that to happen than for life to have originated by natural evolutionary means. Again, those figures are one chance in 10 to the 40,000th power. Now, these were not creationists and Christians and theologians analyzing the data. This was Sir Frederick Hoyle and Chandra Wickramasinghe, recognized internationally as great scholars. I have at my disposal the complete works of Charles Darwin. He's the hero of the evolutionary plot. I have the complete works of his bulldog, Huxley. I have some other works here representing atheistic thinking, And these are all at the disposal of our committee. By the way, at the creation